He's the vampire heartthrob we know as Marcel. Hear him talk about his relationship with his castmates of the hit show The Originals, his hidden artistic talents outside of acting, and take a look into his thoughts on love. Today on Mitra. Hi everyone, I'm Mitra Horan, and we're here with Charles Michael Davis, who's not only a good friend of mine, but also the star of the hit TV show The Originals. And we're going to get to know Charles a little bit today and also hear what's happening on the show and how he got involved in acting and all sorts of exciting stuff. So welcome, Charles.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I know we had to push out Matt Damon out of the spot.
Yeah.
Matt Damon, we're really sorry we didn't have enough time for you. But,
no, and him and I have like a bad thing going on anyway, so, it worked out for the best. Charles, tell me a little bit about how you got into acting. Did you grow up knowing that you were going to be an actor? What inspired you?
No, I started out print modeling in Ohio, and then my agent, after a year of being with him, he took me to a convention in Florida, and then I got to do, he told me if I take you to the convention, you got to do the modeling stuff and you got to do the acting competition. And then when it came time for callbacks at the end of the competition, the majority of mine were for acting. So I got to meet different agents from New York and LA. And then I seriously considered it. And then after about a couple months, I left school and then moved out to LA. And then once I got to LA, I dove into acting.
It sounds like it felt really natural for you because you weren't trained as an actor, and then you sort of went to the convention, right? So how did that?
Oh, it was nice. I didn't have any theater training, so I think I just imitated what I saw in film and television, and then also just what I thought was good choices for a monologue. So I didn't have anything to go on except for what I liked and my instincts.
Yeah, and I kind of get that sense too now with the show. It feels very natural when you're in that role. Watching it, because I did watch all the episodes, which is awesome. I'm totally into the show now. There's just so much going on. In one episode, it's almost like there's so much going on. But when you are actually in that character, it feels effortless watching it. Do you feel that way when you're on the set?
Yeah, that's a really good indicator. I might rehearse lines or practice it or have an idea, but the day of, if it doesn't feel natural, if I don't feel comfortable, then that tells me that it's not coming across naturally.
Right.
And then when it does feel natural, I don't question it.
Right.
And also, I got to give a lot of credit to the directors, because they'll come in and they'll give me a note, and I really trust them. Right. And then so it makes it easy to just implement it and still keep it natural.
Just sort of be in it. Do you have a process before you get on set? Is there something that you do to kind of get into character before you go in?
It depends on the scene. If it's something that's really intense, I'll jump up and down and I'll scream, or I'll bark like a dog. Can
you give me your bark?
No. I'm gonna save it for the DVD outtakes.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, it's in. Yeah, and then if I'm napping in my room, I just try to make sure I'm awake 15 minutes before I have to be on set.
Okay.
My mom did say one time she watched the show, she goes, "You look tired." I go, "Well, it works for the character because he's a vampire and he stays up."
You're like, I just woke up.
I just woke up, yeah. I just got off a plane and went straight to work. And yeah.
So what was the hardest scene? Did you have one that was sort of hard to get into?
There were some that were difficult just because I don't think I understood what was required of me, because I had an idea of what I wanted to do. And so when I started to look around and I started to notice that there were signals that I wasn't quite taking the direction, that was really tough for me, but that happened in the pilot. And since then, it's been a learning experience, and it's been very comfortable. So that was probably the toughest one.
What was your favorite scene? Let's ask that.
Oh gosh, a lot of the scenes that I do with Joseph Morgan, one, because he's really enthusiastic, so he's like a fan, and
Yeah.
when you do something, like he roots you on, and it gets him excited about the work. There was one episode in particular, it already aired, and I had a scene where I'm talking to him after there's a battle, and a few of my guys die, and so they're about to burn him and set him on fire to like cremate him, and I say to him that he'll never have loyalty, and I was like trying to catch a flight, and so I actually needed to do the scene really quickly, and that was the first thing that was going through my mind.
Yeah.
And then while we were doing it, I realized the character Marcel has a lot of compassion for Klaus, and it made it really easy to do because Joe was just very available, and so after I did it, like I was really excited, and then I called my girlfriend Katrina, and I told her about it, and then when it aired, it was one of the, I think for me, better scenes that I've done. Yeah.
Interesting. So what is your relationship like with Joseph Morgan?
On-set or off-set?
Both.
He's awesome on set. I can't stand him off set. He really gets under my skin. I'm kidding.
Yeah, very arrogant, right? Or,
Who? Joe or me?
No, not you. I'm on Team Marcel, so
Okay.
no, not you.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, all jokes aside, Joe's great. Like I said, every day he shows up and he's pretty enthusiastic. Like especially when it comes to the work, and he's very professional. He knows when's a great time to keep it light, and when's a time to just like be focused and keep things moving along. And he always knows what's going on in the scene. So he's easy to be around because it keeps me lighter.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And he's been playing that character for some time. So do you learn off of him?
I learned what not to do. I learned a lot of what not to do.
Oh, because you're doing things wrong. And
I'm just kidding. That's a stab at Joe.
Okay. That's like, okay.
We like to go back and forth at each other.
So you guys have a little thing going on. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a little offset, little bit of drama between you, or?
Well, he's my mentor. His character is my mentor, but yet we're still in competition. And I think life imitates art in that way, where I really admire his craft and his work, and I think that he admires some of the things that I do.
Yeah.
And so we're also competitive, so we help to drive each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now on the last episode, though, you guys kind of partner up, which seems like a lot of trouble. Can you tell us a little bit about how that's going to go? Marcel and Klaus ruling together?
As far as how it goes throughout the season is that the show's not about really about who rules New Orleans. It's really about relationships and family. So it's more about how not we work together as a team, but how we work together as a family. In that it's the brother relationship between Elijah and Klaus, and brother and sister with Rebecca, and then that Marcel is kind of like the son.
I guess we'll see in like a day or so anyway, right? So we'll see what happens in a couple days. But and you chose Klaus over Rebecca. So is that something that's sort of gonna come back?
Have been watching.
Do you? I saw. Yeah, I know what's going on. That was heartbreaking. That was not cool. So what's going to happen? Is she going to come back around? You think Marcel's going to change his mind a bit? Is that romance going to show up again?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's both of their intentions that they love each other. It's just the way that they have to go about it. They have to come up with different plots around it because of Klaus. I'm sorry, what was the original question?
The original question is, in sum, are they going to get back together? Are we going to see them back together?
Oh, I can't give that away.
Come on.
Yes.
Kind of?
Kind of, maybe. At times.
Okay. Oh, casual.
It's casual. But yeah.
Okay. I'm dying to know, what do you think is going to happen with Klaus's baby when it's born? Do you think that he's actually has this little bit of good side, or do you think that he's going to flip at some point and use the baby's blood and that whole thing?
Oh, Klaus. Um,
What's he gonna do?
I think he's gonna be a changed man.
I don't.
I think.
Really?
Yeah, I
think he's
so.
just gonna flip at some point.
You think he's gonna try to eat the baby like a
Yeah.
praying mantis, or?
Yeah, I feel like I don't believe him that like because he switched like so quickly from not being about the baby to being about the baby.
Yeah.
It's
I
too
don't know.
too quick of a switch. What do you think it's gonna be?
I'm rooting for a girl. Maybe
Because then that'll soften him a
Daddy's girl,
little?
yeah, soften him up.
It's gonna be a boy.
Yeah.
It's totally gonna be a boy. Tell me about the castmates. What was it like? Because you sort of stepped into an existing dynamic because they all worked together before and they've been working together for a while. So what was it like being the new guy?
They were actually really welcoming.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everything was new for everybody. So even though they had worked on a show before, they hadn't had their own show, and they hadn't worked with some of the crew, and so there were also a lot more new faces too, not just me, but
Right.
Daniela and Danielle and Leah as well.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, and we're all around the same age and everything. So
Okay, so who's the silliest Offset?
Daniel Gillies.
Really? How
hands
so?
down. How so?
How so? What's he do?
Oh, what doesn't he do? I don't know. He's just really funny, but he's got a quirky sense of humor.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's been a few pranks. Let's see. We turned everything backwards in Joseph's room one time. What else did we do? There's a piñata.
Okay.
With Joe's face on it, and inside were pictures of Daniel Gillies.
Oh my God. Wait. What do you mean there was a piñata? Where did the piñata come from?
That was actually the crew.
Okay.
The crew wanted to prank us. Like, we don't prank each other. Like,
Okay.
The crew pulls pranks for us.
Okay.
To do to each other. But yeah, Daniel's pretty silly. Everyone's got a really good sense of humor.
Yeah, it seems like it. It seems like there's a good dynamic amongst everyone. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the fans, because I imagine, the Vampire Diaries and the originals have a very loyal fan base. What's been your favorite fan experience?
Um,
You're gonna make somebody really happy right now.
yeah. We were at the airport, and a girl comes up and she's like, "Oh my God, I love you on the show. I got a huge crush on you. I was gonna put a poster up of you in my dorm." And she's like, "I'm from Italy," and I called my mom. She's in Italy, and I was like, "Mom, it's that guy from the originals, and I think I might go up and talk to him." And Mom's like, "No, don't do that." She was like, "F it, I'm gonna go up to him." And so she was like really excited, and I think it's really brave when people come up and do that. And so I don't like take offense to it or anything. So.
Yeah. Well, I've seen you around your fans, and you're really appreciative, which is really cool, and you stop to engage, which I really love. So it's been cool to see that.
Sometimes too much.
You spent a little too much time.
Yeah, I'm like, let's hang out. How much
I'll
time do you
tomorrow.
got? Yeah, I'm just here on my lunch break. You wanna? And they're like, yeah, it's kind of weird.
They're like, we just want to know you as Marcel.
Yeah.
So Charles, I have a few questions from your fans.
Okay.
So
Fire
just
away.
dive right in.
Okay.
So, ready? What one quality do you find most attractive in a woman?
Sincerity.
Describe that.
That
was him looking at his girlfriend, by the way.
Yeah. Just like true to everything, true to your word, your intentions. Like.
Okay. Someone wants to know what character on the show you most relate to and why.
What character I relate to? It's a tough one. Because I think all characters have a different side of everyone's personalities. Like I like Cammy, the character of Cammy, because she's like smart and curious about things. And then I like Elijah's character because he's noble and he wears really cool suits. That's a sign of nobility. So yeah, I guess maybe those two.
Okay, So let's close on this. What's something that nobody knows about you?
Here's something that most people wouldn't know about me, that I'm also into photography.
Oh, okay. How'd you get into that?
I used to model, and then I went and bought a camera, and then I just took notes when I was on set, and then just got into it. And so I have a website you can see.
What's the website?
charlesmichaeldavis.com.
Okay, you can check out his photography. Very cool. I've seen some of your stuff. Really nice.
Oh, thanks.
What do you like to photograph?
People.
People. Mainly people, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. So thank you so much for joining us today, Charles. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you, Mitra.
All right.
I had a great time.
Okay.
Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. That was a lot of fun. Thank you to Charles Michael Davis. Be sure and look out for more interviews on my YouTube channel. And don't forget to check out the originals Tuesday nights at 9 on the CW. See you next time.